Hey everybody, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Do me a favor before we get started. I need you to hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, I need you to hit that subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you will not miss an episode. How is everybody, first of all? Did you have a Merry Christmas? All right, so today we're going to talk about investing, and we are reading from this magazine, The 10 Rules of Investing, A Simple Path to Wealth. So we're going to start at page 7, where we left off the last time. All right. Find your support system. Hoskin calls investment goal setting a team sport, since other people can help keep you motivated and accountable. This includes not only your life partner and family members, but also people in your professional support circle. So, for the people that are watching me, first of all, do you have a support circle when it comes to finances? Do you have a life partner? And even if you have a life partner, it doesn't mean you're on the same page. Or do you have family members that are supportive in this area of finances? Okay, let's say that this is non existent. All right. So, what you could do is just listen to podcasts. All right. That is the support system. And or go to networking events when you get time. But this says find a support system. They say a life partner or family members. And I say if that's non-existent, you can branch out into things like podcasts and networking events. All right. Find your support system. Personal support systems. Getting your household involved in investing gives everyone skin in the game. So can you get your household involved in investing? Or are you around people that are not interested? Getting your household involved in investing gives everyone skin in the game. This could be anything from everyone agreeing to contribute a small set percentage of money toward investments or parents matching their kids' savings. It can be a great learning experience for kids, and it gives the adults so many great reasons to really stick to their investing goals and be good financial examples for their family, Hoskins says. So if you have a family, they suggest um, what does it say? Parents matching their kids' savings. So getting together with your children and matching their savings. This can be a great learning experience for kids, and it gives the adults so many great reasons to really stick to their investing goals and be good financial examples for their family. It's also helpful to talk to extended family and friends. Often there can be somebody a few steps ahead of you who can give you really good advice on the next step to take in your financial wellness journey. Hold on for 1 second. I'm going to see where this beeping is coming from, and I will be right back. Hold on 1 second. All right, I am back. I'm back. All right, so where were we? It's helpful to talk to extended family and friends. Often there could be somebody a few steps ahead of you who can give you really good advice on the next step to take in your financial wellness journey. More points out. For example, it could be someone who just put their kid through college while you are still in grade school. Okay, yeah, well, that's fine and dandy, but generally people don't share information. Are you finding that, or is your um, perception different? So they're saying there's somebody that's a few steps ahead of you who can give you really good advice. Yeah, I'm sure there are people who are a few steps ahead of you, but they're not giving advice. Anybody getting advice out here? If you're getting advice, raise your hand. All right. But let's stick to what the magazine says. All right, let's try that. All right. So they're saying there's somebody a few steps ahead of you that can give you really good advice. Back to what I say is um, they could have gave you good advice 20 years ago, right? Um, so what you can do is you can read books. Advice is in books. Okay, let's try to stick to what the magazine is saying. Magazine is saying there's somebody a few steps ahead of you who can give you really good advice on the next step to take in your financial wellness journey. All right, financial support systems. Myriad issues and events can interrupt your financial plans, but financial professionals can help you navigate those challenges. You need someone who can look at all the pieces together because if you look at things in isolation, it can cause a lot of confusion. And it says, start with two key people, a financial advisor and a tax accountant you can rely on. Hoskin advises, then, as your finances become more complicated, if you amass a lot of wealth or you own multiple properties or a small business, you can enlist several others. All right, they're saying a financial advisor and a tax accountant. Insurance representatives can help with protecting your assets as they grow larger. Estate planners can put a legal plan in place for what should happen to your assets when you pass away. So that's important. Getting into that world of trusts, um, estate planners. Financial coaches and or financial therapists can help your money mindset, can keep your money mindset on track and offer budgeting guidance and extra accountability to help focus on your goals. And of course, a good financial advisor can act as your quarterback and interface with all those different people, Hoskins says. Also important, find someone who can act as what's called a fiduciary, meaning there's no commission and they're just getting paid a fee, says in it. That way, they don't have any incentive to give you advice that's not in your best interest. So they're saying when you look for these people, make sure that they are a fiduciary. That's so that they're not selling you stuff just because they want to make commission. To any one of you watching me, do you have a financial advisor? And if so, what do you think about that? Do you have a tax accountant? Um, Insurance representative. They name an insurance representative. And this is for if you already have assets. They're saying the insurance representatives are going to help you protect your assets. Estate planners, and that's important, as far as trusts go. And then they name financial coaches or financial therapists. So these are the people that they are mentioning as a part of your support system. Of course, you have to be very careful with that. So, are these people in your life, or do you feel that it's not necessary, or you're not at that point yet, or do you feel that, like I said before, it's not necessary? What's your thoughts on that? So, these are the people that the magazine is naming: financial advisor, tax accountant, insurance representative, estate planner. Isn't this exciting? Like, what else would you want to be doing on a Friday night? Put in the comments, what else would you want to be doing on a Friday night? All right, evaluate and reevaluate. Your goals to serve as your guiding start, but you'll want to revisit and tweak them regularly, especially when you experience major life events such as marriage, divorce, having children, or buying a home. Your goals should serve as your guiding star, but you'll want to revisit and tweak them regularly, especially when you experience major life events, marriage, divorce, having children, or buying a home. One of the mistakes we make is thinking financial goals are static because they inherently do change as our life and our situation changes, says Moore. That's been true in her own experience. Moore's retirement savings took a backseat for a while when she pulled money from her Roth IRA to make a down payment on a house and invest in her business. Now that the business is thriving, she can refocus on funding her retirement. So they're saying that it's not static. These decisions have been for the betterment of my family and my finances, she says. All right. So there's down payment on the house and investing in her business is for the betterment of her family and her finances. The bottom line, investing can be very effective when your unique personal goals are the guiding force. The key is to think hard about what you want out of life and keep tabs on your investment strategy to make sure it's supporting that vision. Investing can make reachable, really big dreams that feel unreachable, says Moore. Okay, how to set a goal. Envision what your ideal end result looks like. What does your end result look like? Work with a financial advisor to estimate the funds you'll need and the timeline you're working with to achieve your goal. Break up the overall goal into smaller milestones. Allocate and automate funds to make it easier to stick to your plan. Track your progress and reassess your goals as needed. So they are for a financial advisor. Are you for? Are you for or against it? If you're for it, have you been procrastinating, or are you more on the undecided aspect of that? You know, some people say yay, some people say nay, and then what do? You just end up like procrastinating. Time goes by. So, what do you think about this? This is what they recommend. Figure out the timeline and start working on their goal. Investing terms you need to know. Learn the essential language to set yourself up for financial success. 401k, an employer-sponsored tax-deferred savings plan. Participating employees have a pre-tax portion of each paycheck paid into a retirement investment account. Employers may match some or all of that contribution. So you all are aware of the 401k. Active investing, a strategy involving ongoing buying and selling activity in which assets are continually monitored several times a day to enable an investor to exploit what are often short-term profitable conditions. Active investing. Alternative investment. A financial asset that does not fall into one of the conventional investment categories of equity, income, or cash. Alternative investments can include private equity or venture capital, hedge funds, managed futures, art and antiques, collectibles such as baseball cards, commodities, crypto, real estate, and derivatives contracts. Okay, alternative investments can include private equity or venture capital. If anyone is in the private equity world, get in contact with me. Venture capital, we're familiar with that because of the TV show Shark Tank. Private equity, I would say not so much. Alternative investments can include private equity or venture capital, hedge funds, managed futures, art and antiques, collectibles such as baseball cards, commodities, crypto, real estate, and derivatives contracts. If you are into derivatives contracts, contact me. Derivatives contracts. I don't know what that is. I'm going to be honest with you. And if you know, come on to the show. Derivatives contracts. Let's see. Let me look at it right quick. Derivatives contracts. Derivative contracts, financial agreements whose value is based on another asset, rate, or index called the underlying. Common underlying assets. Oh, it just has a different name. Main types of derivative contracts. Oh, okay, so these are examples. Futures, which we are aware of. Options, we're aware of that. Swaps. Forwards. It says forwards are similar to futures. Okay. So it's just another name for derivatives contracts. Derivatives contracts, the examples they give again are futures, options, swaps, and forwards. And they say forwards is similar to futures. Okay, so back to this. This says these are alternative investments. Alternative investments, derivatives contracts. So you want to change that word to the futures and the options. Futures and options are another example of alternative investments. All right, next. Annuity. Annuity, a contract between a contract holder, the annuitant, and an insurance company. In return for the annuitant's contributions, the insurer promises to pay a certain amount of money on a periodic basis for a specified period. Many people use these contracts to guarantee regular income after they retire. So an annuity is important, believe it or not. Have you gotten around to getting an annuity? I know some people have had that already for 20 years. And then other people not so much. You didn't get around to it. But this what it does is it's guaranteed income after you retire. So it's pretty important as far as protection goes. If you want to research an annuity to get into, that is something to add to your to-do lists. That's the annuity. All right. Bear market, a sustained period of downward trending stock prices, often triggered by a 20% decline from near-term highs. Bear markets are often accompanied by an economic recession and high unemployment, but they can be an opportunistic time to buy assets at depressed prices. Okay, so bear market is when the prices go down by 20%. 20% is the number. Bitcoin, a cryptocurrency designed to act as money and a form of payment outside the control of any one person, group, or entity. Bitcoin is the first and largest cryptocurrency in the world by market capitalization. It was introduced to the public in 2009 by an anonymous developer using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. So he had to use a fake name. Don't you think that is interesting? Like, this stuff is really deep. But this is in 2009. The people that got in 2009, they're already rich. All right, bond, a fixed income instrument that represents a loan made by the investor to a borrower, typically a corporation or government. Bond details include the end date when the principal of the loan is due to be paid to the bond owner. Okay, then lastly, broker, an individual or firm that acts as an intermediary between an investor and a security exchange. The exchanges accept orders only from their members, so individual traders need the services of brokers to place orders. Brokers can be paid by fees, commissions, or by the exchange directly. Okay, so what stood out for you, if anything? Feel free to leave that in the comments, and then I'm going to let you know what stood out for me. Let's see, what stood out for me is they're saying get a support system around you. Firstly, they named life partner and family members. And then they name these people that you would consider hiring. And you have to be real careful with that, as you know, right? What do you think about that? I know you have to be careful, that's for sure. But they're saying get some kind of support system around you. I do see people out here that are doing it by themselves. And what happens is that as they move alone and do what they know how to do, God brings people into their life to help them. But it's not like a hand-holding thing. It's like, I'm going to help you at this moment in time. So I do see people out there that are already successful, that are on this journey by themselves. But what they're saying is get some kind of support system. So firstly, they name life partner, they name family members, and then they name the people that you would hire, that you have to be careful about. The financial advisor, tax accountant, insurance rep, estate planner. They name financial coaches and financial therapists. I don't know about all that. So what do you think? What do you think? That's one of the things that stood out for me, is they're saying to get some kind of support system going for yourself. So financial advisor, wouldn't hurt you to talk to one. Like they said, make sure that these people are fiduciary, so they're not just selling you stuff for commission purposes. So that word fiduciary is important. They name the financial advisor, the tax accountant, insurance rep. That's when you already have the assets. Estate plan planning is important. And so these are some of the people that they name. So that stood out. Then the other thing that stood out was the annuity, and that's important. That's something that some of us put on the back burner, and then some people had this a long time ago already, but of course they're not going to share the information with you. All right, so what do you think? Any thoughts? Some things to add to your to-do list, or some things to think about? Doesn't hurt to talk to the people. All right. If you like the channel, I need you to do me a favor, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, I need you to do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you will not miss an episode. Again, we are reading from this magazine. Investopedia, The 10 Rules of Investing, A Simple Path to Wealth. And we're going to do this about twice a month. All right. So if you like the channel, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, I need you to do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you will not miss an episode. If you are interested in improving your finances, check out the free newsletter below. If you know anyone else that is interested in improving their finances, let them know about this channel. Share the channel. Also, keep tuning in. I will be interviewing people. I interview real estate investors. I interview people with different businesses. I interview entrepreneurs. So stay tuned in for that, and you will see them on the show eventually. All right. So thank you for watching, everyone. I will see you on the next video.